What's going on, guys? Tony here, hanging out from Paradise Garage and Learn Autobody and Paint.com. Thanks for tuning in today. If you guys can quickly type in the chat, let me know if you guys can hear and see me. And also, let me know where you're tuning in from. Just type in the chat, let me know. And if you're a Learn Autobody and Paint VIP member, type in the chat VIP and where you are tuning in from. And I just want to quickly apologize for last week. Monday, I couldn't make it. Something came up, and then I rescheduled for Tuesday, and I totally forgot about it because I'm just so used to doing these things on Mondays. So I totally blew it last week. My apologies for that. But we're back on today. Hope everyone's doing well. What's up? What's up? What's up? Dub Z285. What's going on, buddy? Again, if you guys can hear and see me, just type in the chat that you can hear and see me. And then also let me know where you're tuning in from in the world. Hey, buddy, how are you? I'm doing good. What's up, David? And again, we're going to be on for about 20 minutes, give or take, to take your auto, body, and paint questions super quickly. If you're having any troubles, you don't know the next steps, we're here to help you out for a bit on auto body. Probably even just go to the shop. Let's see. We'll be making a custom body kit on the Chrysler 300, turning into a police car for the movie industry. Awesome. I actually hung out with a guy, old school. His name was Gene Winfield, and he made a lot of the movie cars back in the 70s, 80s, and 90s for Hollywood. I don't know if you're familiar with him, but he does metalwork, fiberglass, body kits. Gene Winfield. He's like in his 90s, and I believe he's still pumping. I'm not sure, but it was a good few years ago. I went out to the desert, the Mojave Desert, to visit his whole workshop. I took a 3-day workshop with him and his crew, and we documented the whole thing and put it in Learn Autobody VIP. So that's actually in the VIP course as a bonus. I know some of the VIP guys got that as well. Super cool. And yeah, that was something we did. I think it was back in 2018, give or take. VIP, what's up from California? Forrest, going on? Orlando, Stacy, how you doing? Hope everyone's doing well. Yeah, what's everybody up to? Any new projects you guys working on? Anything? What's up, Jesus? What's up? We'll just head over to the garage, get out of the bus here. Other than that, no, I'm not familiar, but we made a few for the movie called Duel of Legends, starring Carrie Tagava. Yeah, I haven't seen it. I'm not familiar with that. All right, let's go quickly. We'll head over to the garage quick. And yeah, so whatever you guys are working on, let me know. Any questions on primer steps? I've been releasing videos on the Good Van project. You guys have been getting those videos. The next video will be literally painting the black on. No, actually, the next video is going to be painting the actual van. It's not running right now. The fuel pump went out on it, so I just ordered another fuel pump. Hopefully, I get that thing back on the road because I need it. And it sucks because I just replaced the fuel pump on it last year, and now I feel like it's the fuel pump again because it starts, but then it just dies out. It feels like it's starving for gas. The trailer is on the move on YouTube. Cool. You have a blessed day. David Mena. Hey, Tony, I got a nasty clear coat. I'm using this scraping blade technique. Do you think I'll be good with 3 coats? So you're saying you sprayed 3 coats of clear and you got a nasty run? Is that what you're saying? And you're using the scraping blade. So if you have a pretty significant run, that's really looks like a raindrop run, not like a sag, but more like you could see the actual run. What I like to do is cut it off with a razor blade. So the scraping kind of works, but it takes a while. I like to just cut it off from the bottom going up. Just move your razor blade a little bit and just go up, and you can literally cut the runs off. Then what I like, and don't go too quick because sometimes you'll actually peel that whole drip run off down to the base coat. So just be careful. Make sure you're using a brand new razor blade. And these are the razor blades that I like to use. Basic old razor blade like this. You guys know what I'm talking about. I got a box of them, old school box, but this type here, right? You just go upward like this, and you just cut them off. And then I like to maybe use an 800 grit to kind of cut it down quicker. Then I'll go to 1200, 15, 2000, 25, depending on what color it is. If you're doing like a black, if it's a black car that you're buffing, then you might want to go down to 3000. But yeah. What's up, Gail, Ohio VIP? How you doing? What you guys working on? So yeah, if you got 3 coats of clear on it, that's plenty of clear coat. Just be careful. You could use a coarser sandpaper, like I said, to just cut it. Get it down, and then maybe move toward a 1500 grit to finish it off. Some people mix glaze putty. And you could put a skim coat of glaze putty over your run and the sag area and then block it. It'll kind of be like a guide coat where you can see how much you're cutting, and we have VIP videos of that as well in VIP. So check them out. Gail says, I got the epoxy primer on black half of my 56 Chevy, lightly sanded, and now can see a few issues. Going to put Evercoat filler where needed. Cool. 56 Chevy. My dad had a 54 Chevy. What kind of Chevy is it? Stacy Moore says, I painted my hood bare metal with epoxy primer, and it's been sitting for about a month. Do I need to sand the epoxy primer before coating it with my 2K primer? If it's sitting for a month, I would just give it a quick scuff. You don't have to sand it too much. Maybe just put like a 280 to a 320 grit just to scuff it. Just go over it quick. You don't have to take too much off. And then you could put 2 coats of heavy filler, 2K filler primer on that. Normally, if you're shooting epoxy and you let that flash for 30, 40, 50 minutes, give it from 30 minutes to an hour, that's a good window. Then you could put a 2K filler primer right on top of it without sanding if you're doing that the same day. I've actually waited a few days and primed on top without sanding, and I never had any issues. But a month, you might want to just give it a quick scuff and paint it and spray it. Okay, cool. Over the epoxy, do I put a coat of sealer, then a filler primer? Nope, you can go straight 2K filler primer over the epoxy. Okay. I use a hard block of wood to cut a run. So yeah, whatever you want to use. If it's a good, nice, solid piece of wood block, you can use. Sometimes in some areas, I will break a paint stirrer, and that would be a good little thin little block to block out. Kovacs does have these little mini blocks. Do I have any here, or are they in the house? These are like little mini blocks by Kovacs for runs that you could use. There's all types of stuff out there. What else you got? You can use a Dura block. This is just a big, huge block here, but you got smaller blocks that I've cut in half. So this is a regular hand block that I cut in half because I needed something small to get into a tighter area. So, whatever. And I kind of like, the hard foam blocks because they give you a little bit of flexibility if you need it, Let's see. Bel Air 56 2-door hardtop. Beauty. Beauty, beauty, beauty. My brother has a 57 210 with post, and then he has a 57 Bel Air 4-door. So he has those two models. And I have a 67 Chevelle Malibu right in back of me here. Took it out for a spin this weekend. It was really nice. Took it to the beach. You know, it's a patina look right now. It needs paint. And if you take a look at the paint on this thing, I'm definitely going to take it down to bare metal. Like if we can see here, this is looks like it's the original paint, guys. You know, and we got down to metal here, a little rusting here and there, right? Got some dents, but no rust holes. We got pretty much mainly surface rust, cracks, you know, old cracks because this paint is so old. So what I would do with this is take it down to metal, epoxy prime it, do the body work, you know, the body filler, get it all straight, and then put, you know, a couple of coats of nice 2K filler primer on it and block it out. Look at my trunk here. All right. It's just, you know, it's a patina look. It needs paint. You know, it's cracking all over. This needs to definitely come down to metal. All of it. And I will get to it at a certain point, and I will document everything and put it up in Learn Autobody VIP. It's just that I don't think I'll be getting to this car anytime this year. You know, probably if I start it, it'll probably be in maybe next year sometime. I got so many other things I'm working on. It's crazy. But this will be definitely in VIP for you guys, a complete restoration. I just met up with my glass guy. I met him at the beach. I haven't seen him in years. He lives down the road from me. So he's like, yeah, dude, I'll pull all your glass. So definitely going to pull the back glass because I have some leaking. I don't know where it's coming in from. It could be through, you know, one of these corners here. It doesn't look like a lot of rust though. So what I might do is it could also be the weather stripping because I know once it's outside and it rains, I get water in my trunk. So what I might do is have my daughter get in there with a flashlight, or even me. I don't care. I'll get in there, and then have her spray water in the back and see if I can see where it's coming in from. A friend of mine told me it's probably the weather stripping because it's so old and dry rotted. You know, could be. It could be. I haven't had time to look at it. All right, let's get back to Q&A. What pressure do you spray a sealer at? Sealers you can spray at, you know, 22 to 20, 23, 24 pounds max. I wouldn't go any higher than that. But, you know, if you got a good spray gun with good atomization, you should be good around 22 to 24 pounds spraying a sealer. But if it's a primer sealer, you could be lowering that a little bit. You know, you could be spraying from 18 to 22 pounds, depending. Sometimes if I want to reduce my overspray when spraying a 2K filler primer / sealer, I could spray at 18 to 20 pounds, you know, and it lays down nice. It lays down nice. How much paint did you use on the van? Okay, hold on. We'll get to that question in just a bit. I just want to make sure I'm answering these questions here. Over the epoxy, do I put a coal sealer, then filler primer? Nope, you can go straight. I answered that. Let me actually put these up here so you guys can see. Okay, how much paint did you use on the van? So for the black, I used about 3/4 of a gallon, 3 quarts on the black, because we did trim pieces and bumpers as well. And then the white, I used the whole gallon. So we used the whole gallon. It was about 1.25 gallons, 5 quarts for the white. And that's a big van. That's a Chevy Express. The whole roof is a lot of white paint, but we used the whole thing. There was probably a little bit left over, you know, maybe like could have been a pint, you know, 20 ounces left over, which was basically garbage, right? Because you don't, once it's mixed, once single stage is mixed with activator and mixed up, you don't save it, right? It's done. And it's always better to have extra than not enough. Okay. Although you could stretch paints if you need to, you know, add a little bit more reducer if you're starting to notice you're running low on paint and you're like, oh crap, you could start adding a little bit more reducer, after half of your vehicle is painted. You're like, oh man, I'm gonna need another extra, 20 ounces of paint here. You could just start adding a little bit as you go, reducer while you're mixing. Because sometimes you're not gonna mix everything at one shot. You know, sometimes you're gonna mix half of your paint, see how much you got down, see how much you need. So hopefully this helps. What are your thoughts on weld through zinc primer? I don't honestly, I haven't really played around with that. So I'm sorry, I don't know. Does anybody have an answer for Dan here? Okay, now the roof currently still had scuffed up acrylic lacquer from 40 years ago. Looks very solid. Can I put a sealer over that, then paint it with polyurethane? Absolutely, you can. If you don't want to cut it, if it's a sentimental build, okay, and it's a car that you want to know that you have a good paint job on it and last, it's recommended to get down to metal, epoxy it, then you could put a 2K filler primer on it, block it, then put your urethane single stage or base coat clear coat on top of that. But if you feel like, it looks pretty good, it's pretty solid, then you could absolutely seal on top of old lacquer paint. Okay, you could absolutely do that. To paint candy paint, do I have to put silver base all of the time? No, you don't. Um, but to get the full effects of candy, it's recommended to go over silver, a coarse silver, a fine silver, whatever. But it's not necessary. Okay, a good way to start practicing, guys. Before I continue, how many newbies on that's never been on before, or you're new to Autobody, you want to learn a lot of different strategies? Don't forget to just go here, head to learnautobodyandpaint.com to get my free guide and video trainings. Okay. And then there's going to be a special offer to join VIP. If you want to join up. That's awesome. There's over 250 hours of everything that we're talking about in VIP, step-by-step videos on how to lay down candy paint, just like Emilio said here. And how, if you're a beginner, it's recommended by me. Say you're doing a red candy. So spray a red base coat and then put your red candy on it. It'll still look beautiful. It might come out a little tinge darker, okay, than going over a silver, but it's going to be much more easier for you to lay down and spray than going over a silver. Because if you're doing red candy or silver and you don't have the proper spray technique, spray gun distance, speed, flow, overlap, right? You're prone to get tiger striping and have heavier areas than others, especially if you're doing a big vehicle, little motorcycle parts and little parts, not that bad. But with candy, you're not painting and ending around here like a normal paint job. Okay. If you're spraying the fender, right, you're usually coming up to here with a regular paint, and then you're misting it down, you're coming up to here like overlapping. You never want to end here because you're going to end up with a dark line going down each of your body seams. So even it's more so with candy. And that's why when you're laying candy, you want to go actually across the whole side of the car at once instead of stopping and painting single panels like when you're regular, when you're painting regular paints like a base coat, clear coat, or even a single stage. So this thing was candy. We did this thing candy over multiple colors. Started as silver. This was our silver under it with heavy flake. And then we did a candy and blended candy to a blue candy, a purple candy up here. And then we did the same type of fade on the top. So this is a complete candy paint job here. We have another motorcycle in my container that was a complete candy paint job. And all of these videos will be they are in VIP. Most of these are in VIP. Some of the footage I have to re-edit and because I want to make them better and then put them in VIP. But we have a lot of other candy videos in VIP, so hopefully that helps. How long do I have to wait before to fix clear coat runs? So it depends on the activator that you used and the clear coat that you use. Normally, um, if you're in hot weather and what's up, Nala, and you mixed, you know, normally a couple days. Okay. Sometimes if you're rushing and it's a customer job and the clear coat dried really well, you could color sand and buff the next day. But it's recommended to wait a couple of days, a week, or even 2 weeks, to make sure that clear is really cured up and hardened. And you can tell by poking it with your fingernail. And it's going to be soft. No matter what you do, the clear coat will be soft for a couple of days. Okay. Until that thing is really sitting in the sun or something and it's really dried out, then your runs they'll start to feel a little bit harder. But even if it's soft, you could sand. Okay. You could still sand and buff clear coat, even though it's a little soft. Okay, and it's hard for me to show you here because I don't have any wet, freshly painted clear coat, but I do have videos of this in VIP showing you all of this in detail. Because when I made the VIP videos, we actually were going through the process, and I do have videos with some runs as examples, how to color sand the buff runs and all that. So yeah, I mean nasty runs. Can you go around the van? Yes, I can. I could absolutely go around the van, but it's been dirty. I haven't washed it since I painted it. About 2 months. It's just been sitting outside. Never washed it. It's whatever. But the van looks freaking fantastic. I did go around it in my other live streams, and I do have a better walk around video for you that I'm in the middle of editing. So it's better for me to show you that one because it's nice and clean. There's no bird poop on it and stuff like that. But I mean, if you guys want, we can go around it right now. It's super dirty though. Like I said, it's been sitting for a couple of weeks. I just ordered my fuel pump for it today. What are you reducing your 2K to use as a sealer? Just reducer. So, the paint shops don't say this, but if you reduce your 2K filler primer down and make it thinner, it pretty much turns into a sealer. Okay. You don't hear many people talk about this, but that's what it does. And to use a true sealer before spraying, that's a totally different product. So it's really not 100% true sealer. It becomes more like a primer sealer. It thins it out a little bit. It flows on smoother, and sealer is supposed to flow out really smooth. So the reason why you're thinning down your 2K filler primer, hopefully this makes sense, is to make it flow out smoother. Okay, so that's giving you that sealer. But no matter what, regardless, if I'm reducing it down and spraying it on smooth, I still like to cut it down with 400 grit sandpaper before I paint it. So, it doesn't matter if you're using a 2K filler primer and mixing it and spraying it direct, kind of a little bit thicker, or if you're reducing it down because you want to get more product, or you want to kind of smoothen it out so it flows out nicer. Okay. Still, no matter what, I like to let that cure, for a day at least, a couple days, even better. And then I like to sand that flat, block it down with 400 grit before I paint over it. Okay. And a 2K filler primer is a perfect foundation to put new paint on top of. All right. So hopefully that makes sense. You guys getting this so far? We've been on for a while. I'm just going to drop a couple links before we get to Stacy's question here. So there's the link, guys, to go to learnautobodyandpaint.com. If you guys are interested in checking out some amazing spray guns that I spray with all of my projects, check out Zula.com and especially take a look at the X88 model. This is a really good gun. I notice when spraying with this one, I can spray at a lot lower PSI. It's a low volume, low pressure setup. HTE, which is high transfer efficiency. It's a little dirty because I haven't cleaned it really well in a while. I've just been using it. I make sure I clean out, the fluid flow. Nala, get out of here. The fluid flow and the trigger and all that, but I haven't washed down the body really well lately. But this, I have sprayed base coat, clear coat at 18 to 20 pounds with this thing, and it laid on really, really nice. So this is a good spray gun if you have a smaller air compressor and you want to get some good results with it. So check this one out. It's the Blue Moon Atom X88. There's also the Infinity model, which is just a different color. So the Blue Moon is this like gold, blue, and green mixture, and then the Infinity is like a red. Do I have the Infinity here? It's like a red and blue purple mixture. Let's see if I have one. No, I have a bunch of Blue Moons, but I do have the X27. This is the X27 model, low volume, low pressure. And let's see. Stacy, is there any pressure difference with the Atom X low volume? So the high volume will require a little bit more pressure from your tank. So it's better to have a larger air compressor when spraying with that. The low volume, low pressure is going to require a little less volume air from your air tank. So you can spray it. But I mean, they're both great guns. I'm not sure what application you're doing. Are you doing clear coats or base coats? And they say, with base coats, it's better to use a high volume, low pressure, and clear coats, low volume, low pressure. But I've sprayed both base and clear and single stage out of high volume, low pressure guns and low volume, low pressure, and still got great results. I mean, you can't even tell the difference with the results. So it really doesn't matter. I don't feel like it really matters at all. So let's see. Any tips for spraying base coat, clear coat in the heat? Where I live, Arizona, might drop down to 90 before the sun comes up, typically 110 or 120 during a day. So for that, I would definitely use a slow temperature reducer hardener. Because that's very, very hot. Okay. And you might want to just wait a little while. If you're doing touch-ups, I wouldn't worry about it too much. If you're doing small touch-ups, fenders, hoods, or whatever. But excuse me. But if you're doing a complete car, you might want to wait a couple months until it starts cooling down a little bit, because that's really hot, So 90's hot already. 90, you could do a complete paint job in 90, but 110, 120, your clear coat's going to start curing pretty quick. So it's, you're in a race between time. Definitely use a slow reducer, slow hardener, okay? Because the heat is going to compensate for the cure time. And just try to paint as quick as you can if you're doing a complete paint job, and make sure you're laying it on wet. That's the number one thing. And that's why I love a product called Gun Bud, because you could literally strap it on to any spray gun head, paint cup, okay? And you can literally light up. I have the adapter on here, so this is really, if I take this adapter off, it's not too hard. But that's where this Gun Bud Ultra lighting system comes in, because it'll literally light up. I think this one might need a charge. No, it'll literally light up everything in front of you while painting. And I will not do any more paint jobs without this thing, because I don't know if you could see it. I got this stupid adapter on my, but it literally lights up everything you paint. You can see candies better. You can do your blend jobs better, everything. And it's a color-tuned, color-matching special COB light. Has over 400 reviews on Amazon. It's a top bestseller. Check it out. It's called Gun Bud. It's a universal lighting system that goes on any spray gun cup, gravity feed, or even siphon feed. Like, I've put this on an old siphon feed canister facing upward like this and painting like that. And it worked. Kind of crazy, but it worked. I've put this thing on cans like this when I do undercoating, okay, under cars, and it worked perfect. Okay, just like this. Spraying, you know, if you got to do wheel wells or whatever, like literally it works. So check it out. Cool little product. How much time we got? So we are a little over on our time. So I'll tell you what, guys, I'm going to take another question or two and we'll call it a day. Then I'm going to drop a couple links. You guys liking it so far? Quick little Autobody Q&A. Weld through zinc primer is a very good idea when welding in places that will rust after you've completed your work. So there you go. James Paul answered your question. I just haven't been doing much welding lately. And when I do, I just use epoxy primer right over it. I spray can with etch primer on my Camry hood and have tiger stripes. Send it down a metal. Should I start all over? Well, if you're getting tiger stripes or striping in your primer stage, don't worry about it because that's going to be covered with paint anyway. So I wouldn't worry about it. I've used the weld through primer. It is hard to weld on top of, but it works good around the welded area. On spot welds, I use primer, then wire brush through the hole before welding. Yeah, makes sense. Man, there's a lot of questions here I missed. Hi, Tony. Do you recommend to use filler to feather out quite a large area, about 5 by 5 inches? What is the clear coat that is completely peeled off? Where the clear coat has completely peeled off, or is it better to just sand without using filler? Well, it depends on what you're filling. If it could be sanded out without filler and feathered out, then do it without filler. Just use primer and block it out. But if you need to add a little bit of putty, then you're going to have to add some putty to that. I don't know. Hopefully, maybe I didn't understand your question. My pressure gauge broke off on the Atom X27 when I used the first time. Will they send me? I would contact support. Go to Zula.com, Gail, and contact support. I'm sure they will help you out. Hey, Arnold, what's going on, buddy? Long time no talk. Hope you're doing well. How tight do you make the nut on the needle by the trigger? Are you talking about the packing nut? Well, this one, the X88s don't have a packing nut. Are you talking about this? Or I'm not sure what this is. A packing nut here. Are you talking about this? Is the Atom X20? X20, I don't know if you see it. This is a packing nut here. This you don't want to over tighten, or else it will mess up your trigger spring here. Okay, it's supposed to be snug tight where this actually functions. Some people over tighten these and your trigger won't come back. So loosen it. Okay, sometimes people get a little leaking. It doesn't matter what gun you're using. But if you have a little paint leaking, sometimes you tighten this packing nut and it solves the issue. Just a very little. Okay. The other guns like the X27 do not have a packing nut, just an internal spring. So this, you don't have to worry about it. The X88 doesn't. So I'm not sure what nut by the trigger you're talking about. Is it this here? So this, I'm not sure. Yo, Arnold, how you doing? Dom says, my X88 1.3 sprays smooth, super good, but when I try to spray with the 1.4, it sputters. I would make sure everything is tight because you changed your tip, right? I would just double make sure of everything, because if it's spraying smooth and fine with the 1.3, you shouldn't have any issues at all with the 1.4. So maybe just take it apart, clean it, make sure this is tight. Okay, set your trigger and try it again. Oh man, I'm sorry about your dog, bro. On the needle, the Atom Mini spray gun. Yeah, so the packing nut on the X16 is pretty much the same thing. So yeah, on the packing nut on the X16, you just want to snug. You don't want to over tighten it. Yeah, Dom. So I would email Zula for support on that. I don't know why you're having issues maybe you could send me a video. Like if you can send me a little 20-second video of the issue. It sounds like you're getting air in from somewhere. It sounds like something's not tight if it's sputtering like that. So yeah. Yeah, it's tough, bro. Like losing animals. That's why I hate getting animals. You get so damn attached to them. Like I'm so attached to my animals now. It's ridiculous. But anyway, guys, I'm gonna head out, guys. Thanks for tuning in. How many of you guys are? I don't know if you guys know much about like what I do, but I have multiple online businesses, and one of them is also in the e-commerce. I'm actually partnering with somebody. We're actually getting into other water products because of living in Hawaii and selling. I am still selling surf leashes on Amazon and all over and through e-commerce. And we're doing about $8,000 a month revenue with about $2,000 in expense, product cost, and some advertising, basically netting $6,000 a month. And if you guys want to learn how to set up your own little mini e-commerce stores, to generate a couple $1,000s a month in extra income, I'm going to drop a link here. You guys can sign up for this free training. The training's not out yet. I'm in the middle of redoing the training, probably going to be at about a week. But if you're interested, you can sign up to this training here, where it's going to teach you about e-commerce, the e-commerce business. Because, hey, the average millionaire has 7 streams of income. You could be selling digital courses online like I do. I sell digital courses online. I sell e-commerce products. I'm invested in cryptocurrency. I've invested in real estate. I do stocks. So you have to have multiple streams of income, especially in this day and age. And if you guys are interested in creating a separate stream of dependable income, check out this program. And you can sign up for it right over here. It's going to be a free training. And if you're interested, you want to learn more, you can basically work with me and we can build out your own e-commerce store in whatever niche that you feel like you want to play in. If you're like a golfer guy, maybe you could do something in golfing. If you're into fishing, maybe you might want to set up a fishing e-commerce store. Things have been going crazy with e-commerce, and lot of money, $4.5 trillion industry, a lot of money to be made online with e-commerce. And I have multiple stores online doing very, very well. So check that page out, guys. Register. You're not going to get anything immediately after you register. I'm still working on the training program. So other than that, guys, that's pretty much it. I'm still playing around with crypto every day. If you guys are interested in crypto, get on my crypto newsletter. Although even if I haven't sent out a lot of content on that lately, I've been making a lot of YouTube videos, but I haven't been emailing the list. But that's my Crypto Waters newsletter. If you guys are interested in crypto, basically plan on building the extension of my house, which is around 600 to 700 grand. It's going to cost. We're going to pay for that with crypto. I'm going to show you exactly how we're doing it. Anyway, it's Tony here. Thanks for jumping on today's stream on Autobody. New video on the van coming out. Hopefully later this week is going to be probably one of the last videos on that project. Maybe two more. Maybe this one and then another final video. But we got 2 more videos coming out on the van project. Hope you learned something. Thank you guys for tuning in. You guys are awesome. And have a great rest of the week. And what is the difference between Bitcoin and crypto? So Bitcoin is considered crypto. Okay. The whole crypto market is like Bitcoin, Ethereum, all these other altcoins, blah, blah, blah. There's a ton of coins out there. And I'm invested in a lot of coins. I've been buying Ethereum since it was $100, $125, even down to $80. I got lucky. I sold part of the top when it was at $4,500 last year. Sold Bitcoin last year, pretty much going up to the top. I didn't sell at the 65, 69K top, but I was selling at 37 to 45,000, which was not bad if you look at it now. It's Bitcoin's back down to 21. But there are other coins where you can make a lot more gains. So if you guys are interested in crypto, sign up to my Crypto Waters newsletter right here. If you guys are interested in making money with e-commerce, sign up to my e-commerce, my brand new training over here, where it's not even released yet. But if you get onto this email list here, I'll be able to update you for those of you who are interested. If you're not interested, don't sign up, whatever. I don't care. Okay. It's your life, not mine. But anyway, have a great evening, guys. Talk to you soon. I'll be back next week, Monday as well, for your little auto body and paint Q&As. Peace.